Alright, so let's dive right in and take a look at that DreamVacation example. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is set up our docstring at the top. So let's go ahead and do this. This is the easy part. Let's put the date. So today is the 30th. And I'll go ahead and put the problem here as well. Well, actually, no, that would just clutter up the file. I think we'll add what the file is going to be called here in a second. Let's call it DreamVacation. Good grief. Okay, there we go. DreamVacation. .java. Control S to save it. Okay. And don't forget that this has to be like that. Okay, nice. So, let's go back and let's review what exactly the question is. So, let's see. Come back. Alright, give me 1 second. Let me try to figure out why that's gone. Okay. I think it might have something to do with Loom running. I'm not sure. Okay, anyway. So, everyone fantasizes about taking a dream vacation. Write a full dream vacation class that contains the following: an instance variable for the name of the destination, an instance variable for the cost of the vacation, a no argument constructor, a parameterized constructor that takes in both the name of the vacation and the cost, and so accessor methods, so those are the getters for those two instance variables, and mutator methods or setter methods for those two instance variables. So let's just go ahead and start by making the class. So this is something that we've been doing this entire semester, this entire school year so far. We've been making classes. You just didn't realize it, but that's what's been going on. And we need these two instance variables. So we need something called the name of the destination. I'll call it destination. And that's probably going to be a string. And I don't know what it is yet, so I'm just going to save the space in memory for it. And then we got another one called the cost. And we'll just go ahead and do this. That's probably going to be a double because it could cost some number of dollars and some number of cents. Yeah, like it says in the problem. So we got the destination and we got the cost. Okay, so that's those two things done. And now we need a no argument constructor. So public, and then you just use the same name as the class. So this is going to be a method that makes a dream vacation. Takes no arguments, so it's just going to have closed parentheses. And let's see, let's say the destination, Disney World. And the cost will be $5,000. I don't know how much it actually costs, but let's just roll with it. So if you don't tell me where you want to go, you're going to go to Disney World, and that's how much it's going to cost you. So done. We're over halfway there. Oh, I guess we're halfway there. So a parameterized constructor. Well, actually, before we keep going, let's go ahead and test this. Okay. I'm going to make another class. Save this one. New. Let's call this one tester. And this is going to have that public static void main method in it. Okay. So let's try to make a dream vacation. I'm going to call it V for vacation. Okay, so we're going to print out the destination and we're going to print out the cost of the trip. So if this works, we should see Disney World and $5. And we'll go ahead and just like that. Okay. Compile it. Forgot a semicolon. Nice. And we can run it. Disney World, $5,000. Then we could use string formatting if we wanted this to actually look like dollars and cents. But we're just testing it right now, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so you got that. Cool. So now what if we wanted to be able to provide it with a destination? And if you watch that YouTube video, or there's the whole series of YouTube videos that are posted in Google Classroom, then you're probably thinking you could probably just do something like this. Orlando, where's Universal Studios? Okay, so you're probably thinking you could do something like that, and it turns out you can. Like, that works, but this isn't the ideal way of doing it. And you could do v dot cost equals, I don't know, it's cheaper for some reason, semicolon. And you see that worked, but wouldn't it be nice if we could just do this all in one line? If we could do something like and my font size is a little big, so that goes off the screen, but wouldn't it be nice if we could just have one line like that instead of needing these three? And that's what we're trying to do with this parameterized constructor. So we can go ahead and leave this code. So what we're going to do is, we've made a tester. So when we're done, this should work. Right now it's going to crash. But once we've finished in this other file, this should run. That's how we're going to test that we've done it right. So we'll go over here. Let's just go ahead and copy this, paste it. So we're chaining these two constructors together. And we're going to take in the destination, call it dest, and let's call it destination and cost. The destination is going to be a string, the cost is going to be a double. We're going to say this dot destination, so it's this one, the one that belongs to the vacation class. This one is going to be set to destination. This destination over here, that one. Then this dot cost, this one, is going to be set to that one. So we put the this in front of it so that the program knows we're talking about this one and not that one. Okay, save it, compile it. Java.lang.string is undefined. Oh, hold on. There we go. The quotation mark was in the wrong place. Oops, did not want to test that. I wanted to run it. Okay, and see, that worked. We made this. So I can change this to 4,000. Oh, compile it. Run it. And it works. Pretty cool, right? Alright, so we've got our two instance variables, we've got our no argument constructor, we've got our parameterized constructor. The last thing are these methods. So right now we're using just dot destination and dot cost instead of get. So that's all well and good, but this is kind of dirty. This is like the hacker way of doing it. And in Java, you really don't want to do that. So what if these are private so we couldn't get to them, right? So now only this class can see what's going on inside of it. So save it, go ahead and compile it, and now all of a sudden you're going to get this error. It's not going to let you mess with it. So let me get rid of that. Okay, so we got 2 vacations, and this isn't going to run anymore because it can't see the destination. So let's go ahead and pretend that we've already finished this. So we're going to use a method called getDestination. So the methods are like verbs. GetDestination. It's an action that we're doing. These variables are like nouns. So instead of cost, we're going to use getCost. Right? And these don't exist yet, so we're going to have to go and make them. Okay, so getCost. So let's do getDestination first. GetDestination is going to return a string, so we have to put string there. So it's who can see it, what it will return, name of method. And if it takes any arguments, those go here. But we don't need any arguments for a getter method, so there we go. And inside of here, use return, because we're returning something back to whoever asked us, and we're going to return the destination. Go and just copy that, paste it, copy, paste, modify. We're going to return a double. It's going to be called getCost, and we're going to return the cost. Okay, and if all went well, we should be able to compile this. Okay, cool. And we should be able to run it, and it works. And this is a much safer solution. This prevents other programmers or malicious users from trying to get direct access to your variables. So that's the accessor methods. Check, got it. Now let's add those mutator methods. So let's go ahead and set up the tester first so that we can have some sort of metric to know when we've finished and we've done this right. So let's copy these. And in between, so we're going to print what it is at the start. Then we're going to do some sort of mutation and we'll print them again at the end. So let's do v2.setDestination. And we'll set it to King's Dominion. v2.setCost, I don't know, $2,500. So when we run this, we'd expect to see Universal Studios, 4,000, King's Dominion, 2,500. If I compile it right now, we're going to get an error because these methods don't exist yet. So let's go ahead and write them. So who can see it? Everyone can see it. What's it going to return? Nothing, because it's actually changing the object. Mutator methods really shouldn't ever return anything, and a getter method should never mutate an object. These two things should be kept separate. Okay, so it's not going to return anything, and it's going to be called setDestination. It's going to take in a string, and that string is going to be the new destination. So the destination equals the new destination. Semicolon. Copy this, paste it, still returns void. Now we're setting the cost. The cost is going to be a double. We're going to call it new cost. New cost. Cost. Perfect. And we'll go into the tester. We'll compile it. The errors are gone. We'll run it. And we got exactly what we expected, so that we know that this works now. So these variables are now secure. They're safe. The only way that anyone can see them or mess with them is through the ways that we said that they could. So if we said that you're not allowed to have a cost that's less than 0, we could put a check in here. So you could say if new cost is greater than 0. And then if that wasn't true, you could throw an error or something. But we don't know how to do that yet, so I'm just going to use a print statement. Vacations are not free. Go back to the test. Oops. Go back to the tester. Ooh, what's going on? I hit the wrong button. Okay, I'm going to close this and reopen it. Object-oriented programming, practice, DreamVacation. This is why it's important to save your files and the tester. Okay, so let's set the cost to -1,000. So they're going to pay me $1,000 to go to King's Dominion. At least that's what I want them to do. Oops, we're going to compile it. And a semicolon. Compile it. Run it. And let's see. Oh, I ran the wrong file. Here we go. Run this one. So you see it says vacations are not free, and then it didn't change the value. So that is a benefit of having this setter method here. If we were doing it the old way, where it was just v2.cost equals -1,000, there's nothing you could do to stop them from setting the cost to a negative number. But because we have the setter method, we've got more control. We can control how the user interfaces with those variables. So when we went through this in class, there was one more thing that we did. Actually, there were a couple more things. So this is it. This is all that you need to solve the problem. You don't even really need this. This is just something extra. But this solves the problem. But let's take a look at how we might even make this a little bit better. So what if you had more than one destination or something that you could randomly give them? So ideally you'd use a list or something, or an array, but we're not there yet. But just to give you like a little taste, you can do if math.random, and math.random returns some decimal value between 0 and 1. So if math.random is greater than 0.5, so we're saying about a 50-50. It's like flipping a coin. We're going to set the destination of the cost equal to this. Otherwise, so if that number was less than 0.5, we're going to set the destination and the cost to, I don't know, North Korea. $200. Okay. Let's run that. Let's go back to the tester. And let's print v. Okay, compile it. Run it. Oh boy, we got a trip to North Korea. So now you can either go to Disney World or North Korea. So we've sort of created this incentive for people to include their vacations. So that's sort of a fun thing you can do with randomness, and you could keep adding these. Your code would get pretty messy, but you could keep adding them, even with what we know now. One more thing. What if we change the way the cost works? So we rename this base cost, okay? So go through, make sure you get all of them. The base cost. Now we're going to leave this one alone. We're going to come back to this in just a second. The base cost is what we're going to set here. Okay. So get cost. What we're going to do is have a no argument constructor, or a no argument method. So the base, if you get the cost, it's just going to return the base cost. So we're not going to change that functionality. We're going to leave it. And we're going to assume that the cost is for one person. But let's say you can have an integer that says, let's see, what would you call someone that goes on a vacation? A vacationer, maybe. It's called party size. The size of your vacationing party. So you could have some sort of equation in here, some sort of a formula. So let's say the base cost times the party size is going to be how much it's going to actually cost to get you there. So we can compile this, no errors, go into here, and let's print the cost. Let's print the cost of going to either North Korea or Disney World if we were bringing 3 people along. So you see, to go to North Korea for one person, that's the default, it costs $200. But to go to North Korea with 3 people, it costs $600. So this was nice. I really like that. And this is another benefit of using these methods and building a class. You can put all this stuff in here and just keep reusing it. Okay, so hopefully this helps, and hopefully you learned something, or this made some stuff click. If not, that's okay. We've got more examples we're going to go through. And if you have any questions, let me know. See you in the next video.